My friend Sophia, 28F, is upset at me, 27 male, for telling her boyfriend Noah that I am not her best friend. I am really lost on what I did wrong, and why I am getting the blame for the fallout. Sophia and I met due to a common friend and have known each other for the last 5 years. Sophia has been a good friend, and we would generally hang out on weekends with the rest of our friends. Sophia also lived in the same apartment complex as me, and we would sometimes hang out at my apartment, along with other friends to watch TV. Sophia started dating Noah around 6 months ago. I noticed that Sophia started messaging me more than normal about random stuff like TV shows, music, etc. around the same time, and would send me memes and TikToks all the time. She also messaged me if I want to hang out at my place after work during random weekday evenings. I would generally say no, unless more friends wanted to join in. On Saturday night, we were all at my friend's apartment for a party. Sophia and one of my friends left to pick up food, and Noah came to me and asked if we can talk for a few minutes. Noah told me that being a guy, I should understand, and he is uncomfortable about my friendship with Sophia. I asked him why, and he said that he understands we are best friends, but he is uncomfortable with her always texting me late at night, or hanging out with me at my apartment on nights when he is busy. He said that he has discussed it with Sophia many times, but she has told him that she will not tolerate him controlling how she behaves with her best friend. He said that he is getting very serious about his relationship with Sophia, and if he should know something before, he commits with his whole heart. The truth is, Sophia and I are good friends, but we are not best friends. She is just one of the 8 girls in my friends group that I hang out with and never have we shared any deep personal secrets about ourselves. I told Noah that he has nothing to worry about. I told him that I would not refer to Sophia as my best friend. In fact, before she started dating Noah, we would barely message each other. I also told him that I never hang out with Sophia alone, and she only visits my place when other friends are invited. Noah asked me if we ever dated or hooked up in past. I told him that Sophia brought up the subject 5 years ago, but I told her why I would not want to date her, and we never talked about it again. Noah asked me why Sophia would refer to me as her best friend then, and I told him that I also find that weird, because we are good friends, but definitely not best friends. Noah thanked me for being honest, and the night went on. Yesterday afternoon, I got a call from Sophia, and she was really mad at me. She asked me what I told Noah, and I told her about our conversation. She told me I was an asshole to tell Noah that we are not best friends and how I messed up her relationship. I told her I did not say anything bad about her, and in fact soothed his concerns that there was anything going on between us. She told me that they had a big fight the night after the party, and Noah confronted her about why would call me her best friend and tell him that you were at my apartment alone, when none of those things happened. She told me that I should have just backed up her story. Seems like they are having a big fight about her lying to him. I feel bad for Sophia, as I really feel they both are cute together and Noah really likes her. Sophia has also told us how much she adores Noah and that they are happy together. It's hard for me to understand why Sophia would lie to Noah that we are best friends, and we hang out alone together when he is busy. Am I wrong to tell Noah that Sophia and I are not best friends, and should I have just played along? I am not really sure I even understand why I messed up or what to do at this point. Update 1. She said some unkind things to me on Sunday after I told Noah, her BF, that we were just friends, and definitely not best friends as she is trying to portray me to be. Moreover, I also told him that I never hang out with her alone, and it's generally with a group of friends, as she had also lied about this to him. Yesterday evening, Sophia messaged me to apologize for the outburst and asked if we could meet and she can explain why she did that. I told her okay, and she came to my apartment. She told me that she loves Noah, and he is really a good boyfriend. However, he is not very motivated and lazy. When they started dating, he was not really putting a lot of effort in the relationship, and she had to ask him for everything. It used to bother her a lot. She knew that Noah's last girlfriend cheated on him, and it took him 2 years before he started dating again. Noah was very insecure about dating her and asked her to make sure she shares everything with him. Sophia said that Noah is a great guy, but she needed him to be a better boyfriend. So, she thought she would make Noah jealous by talking to me. She said it worked, and Noah started reading our messages. She knew I would not flirt back with her because I have explicitly told her I am not interested in her, and so she thought I was a safe choice. She said Noah kept on asking her why she is talking to me so often, and she told him that I am her best friend, and she needs the emotional support and stability I provide since Noah is not emotionally available for her. That made Noah start replying to her messages quickly and also being more present in the relationship. Noah also wasted his evenings playing video games with his friends and ignored her. So, she would message me on those days and ask if she can hang out with me. She lied to Noah that we would just sit in my apartment and watch movies since he was unavailable, and it used to bother him. He asked her to stop, but she told him that he can play his games and she can have a fun evening with me. Noah repeatedly asked her to cut contact with me or at least not hang out with me alone in my apartment, and eventually stopped playing video games with his friends so he can hang out with her in evenings. She would also lie to him about how I cooked elaborate meals for her, and we had wine and painting nights, which led Noah to do the same. Finally, she told me that I was an asshole to not go with her story and tell Noah the truth. Noah, of course, got angry at her and saw that it was an act to get to change him. Sophia was so proud of her latest lie. She told Noah that I played down our relationship because I was trying to protect Sophia. She told him that I am such a great guy and was just trying to make sure that my best friend's relationship was not affected because of me. I told her that I was not really happy being a pawn in her lie. She told me that it was a genius idea and there are no victims. She got what she wanted, and Noah is a much better boyfriend, thanks to me. And she will now show Noah how much she loves him by slowly reducing messages to me, which he would appreciate, while still thinking of me as a threat that Sophia can fall back on if he changes his loving behavior. She pleaded me to just keep quiet for her sake as she is so happy with the way Noah is now. I thought about it and agreed with her. It feels weird that she is literally training Noah like a lab monkey and behaving the way she wants, but at the end of the day, he seems to have become a better boyfriend thanks to Sophia's plan. I was conflicted on what to do, but I will just go with the act for Sophia's sake as Noah also likes her and there is no reason to mess things up for them. I would like to hear neutral opinions on if I am wrong with helping Sophia lie to Noah, as it seems like it has made their relationship better and Sophia seems to be happy. After reading the comments, I am inclined to tell Noah the truth. However, I feel he would still choose to leave Sophia over me. Moreover, I am worried he would think I am trying to break them up for my own selfish benefits. I don't want him to think that I am her best friend who has feelings for her and hence, trying to break them up. Would you have believed your partner's friend if they came forward and told you this? Won't you think that the friend is just manipulating into breaking you up? Thanks everyone for your input. I really thought about telling Noah. I have decided not to tell him. I do not have any messages that would prove she is lying. Moreover, I am also scared she might manipulate Noah into believing I am her guy best friend and desperately trying to break them up after Noah told me he wants to be more serious. I risk losing my friends if they tells that narrative to all my friends. As much as I realize she is playing on Noah's worst insecurities, I do not have a way to tell him without risking a social suicide. Sophia's plan is foolproof and there is no way I can convince Noah without any solid proof. I will, however, avoid her and not reply TP her messages and only interact with her in social settings. Update 2. I posted 2 weeks ago regarding my friend, Sophia, manipulating her boyfriend Noah by telling him that I was her best friend and making him jealous. I didn't want to post daily updates, but I feel a lot of you will be happy with the events of the last 2 weeks. I knew Noah would not have believed me, and it would just solidify his belief that I had feelings for Sophia and was trying to break them up. I had to do something, so I finally decided that I would just talk to Sophia and convince her to not play games with Noah and appeal to her conscience. 2 days after I posted the update, I asked Sophia if we could meet at my place in the evening after work. I told Sophia that I was worried for Noah and her because of how she was manipulating Noah by telling him lies. We argued, and I just wanted her to realize that instead of spending time on someone who she had to train, she should find someone she genuinely likes. Sophia was understandably very upset with me. She initially told me to stop being judgmental. I did not expect it, but she broke down and started crying. She told me it's easy for me to judge her, but it's not like there are guys out there who are just tailor-made for her. She said she knows she's not the most attractive looking person but has so much to offer in a relationship. However, the only guys that are interested in her just want a bangmate and expect her to be grateful that they are dating her. She said Noah is cute, but he was just like every other guy she has dated. One difference was that Noah was extremely insecure about her and was reading her messages. She just wanted Noah to be like me. Noah also asked her specifically about me because of the way she looks at me and realized he was insecure about me. That is when she started messaging me and making Noah jealous, and he did respond exactly the way she wanted. I told her that what she did was still wrong, and she cannot play on Noah's insecurities like this. I reiterated that she cannot train his behavior for the rest of his life and that she is just setting herself and Noah up for hurt long term. I asked her to come clean to Noah and be true to herself. I told her that she deserves someone who likes her for who she is and not because they are insecure about losing her. She was angry at me at this point and told me to get off my high horse. She said sometimes it's not easy to find someone who has all the qualities you want. She said that I just date the first girl I meet in a bar or club who is willing to sleep with me, and then break up with them after a month because we have nothing in common. That comment did sting a bit because she is right, and I also always end up dating the wrong girls. She said that the everything about girl I describe I want to be with exactly fits her, but I would never date her because she is ugly. She is not, she is very beautiful but just struggles with weight issues. I told her not to call herself that and she is very beautiful. I also told her that maybe we both need to change the kind of people we date, so we are both happier. She was quite emotional at this point, and we hugged. It felt wrong, and I quickly reminded her that she was still Noah's girlfriend, and she should leave. I think all of you will be really happy to know that over the last week, Sophia broke up with Noah. Sophia told him truthfully about what she did, regarding me, but also told him that she wished all those things came organically from him instead of her having to ask him for it. Noah is really heartbroken and asked to get Sophia to get back even after knowing everything, but she eventually blocked him. Sophia has been visiting my apartment almost every evening since her breakup, as she just does not want to be alone. I tried to cheer her up, and we went out for dinner on Saturday, and she told me she felt much better. The Sophia I knew was always a smart, confident, ambitious girl, and I never knew her vulnerable side. I am also glad that Noah finally knows the truth and can be with someone who likes him for who he is and not take advantage of his insecurities. Now on to second story. Caught my boyfriend through my best friend in a drunk confession about their hookup. He denies it and I'm torn between them. I've been best friends with Becca since 2010. We were college roommates and then after we graduated we still lived together up until I moved in with my boyfriend Nate in 2019. One thing about Becca is that she's always had a drinking problem for as long as I've known her, and she's done stuff while drunk that has sometimes caused problems in our friendship. She does try to stay sober, but every few years something will happen to make her start drinking again, which is what happened earlier this summer. So last Saturday Becca called me because she was drunk somewhere and needed a ride home. I couldn't go pick her up because I had the flu and I was on cold medicine, so Nate went to get her instead. A couple of days after that I started noticing that Nate was being weird with his phone. Normally he leaves it out on the coffee table if we're watching TV or whatever, but he started putting it face down so I couldn't see what notifications he was getting. My first thought was that he was trying to plan a surprise, and because of the timing I thought that maybe Becca was helping him. Yesterday I saw Becca. I told her that Nate was being sneaky all of a sudden and asked her if he said anything about maybe proposing soon. She asked me if I looked through his phone and I said no. Becca started crying and told me that she and Nate hooked up in his car the night that he came to pick her up. Her excuse was that she was really drunk and didn't fully know what she was doing. She said she'd been texting him since, telling him that he needed to tell me what happened or else she was going to. I asked Becca to show me the texts, but they were all in the app Signal, which deletes messages after a day, so all I could see was that she and Nate had a chat thread but nothing that they said. I told her to text Nate in front of me so I could see what he said and she did, but we got no read receipt and so no response at all, so it didn't prove anything. I asked Becca if she was sure she wasn't so drunk that she maybe imagined it or thought a dream was real, and she absolutely lost her shit on me and said that she knows that she's horrible when she drinks but that she's not fucking delusional and she doesn't make shit up. She said that I could believe her or not and it's my choice, but she was telling me the truth. I said I needed to go home and talk to Nate. So when I got home I confronted Nate with what Becca had said, and he acted shocked and denied that anything like that had happened at all and said he didn't know why she'd think so or say so. He said that he had just given Becca a ride home and the only thing that happened was that they talked about how he and I had been together for a long time and how we should get married already. He admitted they were talking on Signal the next couple of days, but he said that it was about exactly what I thought, that he was asking her about engagement rings and what kind of proposal I would want. Nate replied to Becca's message from before asking her if she made up a story about them hooking up to not ruin the surprise about his proposal, and she texted him back that there was no proposal and to stop playing dumb. So then Nate called her pretending like I wasn't in the room and told her that she needed to stop whatever she was trying to do because we were on the verge of breaking up and he'd rather just have the surprise be ruined, but Becca just kept telling Nate to stop lying until he got angry and hung up on her. I really didn't know what to think and I still don't. Right now Nate is really upset and not really talking to me much. He says that it's bad enough that Becca acted insane and ruined his plan to propose, but it's even worse that I believed her lies even a little and would think that he would ever cheat on me. Becca texted me saying she was sorry, but otherwise I haven't talked to her either. I don't want to think that Nate would cheat on me or that he'd take advantage of Becca if she was that drunk, but I feel like I can't be 100% sure because I've known Becca for 13 years and I also just can't believe that she'd lie to me about something this important. And I know that she does have a drinking problem, so I can believe that she'd sleep with my boyfriend if she was drunk out of her head. She's done some pretty awful things in the past when she's been drunk. I don't want to wrongly accuse Nate of something he didn't do, but I don't want to be an idiot. Update 1. So on Thursday night after I got everyone's advice, I told Nate that I had found out a way to recover deleted messages from Signal. He immediately took out his phone and opened the app and asked me to show him how to do it, so I already thought that must mean he was telling me the truth because he didn't panic or hesitate at all. Which was good because when I tried to download Signal on my old phone it turned out that it's too old to support the current version of the app, so it wouldn't work. Nate then asked me if we were going to have to go out and buy a new phone for me to believe that he was telling me the truth, and he said that he was willing to do it if that's what it would take. I told Nate it wasn't that I didn't believe him, I just wanted to have some proof because I just couldn't understand why Becca would lie about it. Nate said that she would lie about it because she's a fucking crazy drunk bitch and there's literally no way for a non-crazy person to understand why she would do anything, and once the messages proved that he didn't ever want me talking to her again. Then he said to get up because if we were going to go to the Verizon store we had to get there before it closed. By then I completely believed Nate anyway, so I told him we didn't have to go anywhere or get a new phone and that I believed him and I knew he didn't cheat on me and that he would never do that. Nate said that he would hope I know that and that he didn't understand why I didn't take his word for it in the first place. I started trying to explain why I didn't want to just immediately dismiss what Becca had said happened, but Nate said that he really couldn't listen to that right now. I said that was fair and agreed that I would cut Becca off, but that first I wanted to try to get her to admit that nothing happened. Nate said fine, but to call her with my phone on speaker because he thought he also deserved to hear her admit that she was lying. So I called Becca and I said the same thing to her that I said to Nate, that I figured out how to recover deleted messages on Signal. She asked me why I would need to do that, so that was when I knew for sure that she was definitely making it up and not just confused somehow. I said it was because I wanted to have proof of what she and Nate talked about. Becca asked me if I saw their messages, so I lied and said yes. After that Becca just went silent until finally I asked her if she was going to say anything. Then she asked me if that meant that we were engaged now. So then I really just lost it on her and screamed at her asking her if she was fucking serious and what the fuck was wrong with her and how could that possibly be all that she had to say. Becca started screaming back telling me to fucking calm down and about how obviously I never believed her anyway because it's not like we broke up over it. I was crying by that point and because of that I couldn't really say anything else, so then Nate told Becca to go fuck herself and to never ever contact either one of us ever again and hung up on her. A minute later Becca sent me a completely unhinged text that I'm quoting here verbatim, apart from changed names. Courtney. You are supposed to be my friend for life. You are supposed to be there for me. You are supposed to be my person. But then you meet Nate and now you only care about Nate. Everything is about Nate. Tell me why Nate comes to pick me up when I call you? I called you not your precious fucking Nate. I only want you to see how fucked up this is, but do you? No. Of course you don't. Of course you choose Nate over me like you always do and like you always will. You pretend to care about me but I can see you don't care. It is pathetic, Courtney. You are a pathetic woman who would choose a man over a friend. But since you can't say it yourself I will. Since you have to have your sweet perfect little baby Nate do it for you I will. Goodbye, Courtney. Is that what you want? Goodbye forever. I hope you fucking got what you fucking want. There were the 3 dots after that showing she was still typing more, but I blocked her before she sent it. I don't care about anything else that she has to say. I'm sure it's all just going to be more bullshit about why this is my fault or justifications about why what she did wasn't that bad and I should forgive her. I know Nate is probably right and there's no non-crazy logic behind why Becca would stoop to doing something like this, but obviously I've still been thinking about it and my best guess is that whoever said that Becca still blames me and Nate, apparently mostly Nate, for her being a drunk mess who can't get her life together is right. It seems like she somehow thought that if she said she hooked up with Nate, I'd break up with him but still want to be friends with her and then everything would magically be fixed. As far as stuff with Nate, I asked him if he thought he could ever forgive me for doubting him and he said that since I came to my senses and I cut Becca off he guesses we can try to put it behind us. I don't think he's still going to propose anytime soon. After this I probably wouldn't if I was him. And from what Nate said he didn't actually do any planning yet other than asking Becca about rings and if I'd think a public proposal was tacky or not. All he was doing so far was trying to get ideas without me knowing he was talking to her about it. So just based on that I think probably it's not going to happen for a while if it still does at all. Update 2. I'll keep it as short as I can. Unfortunately I have nothing good to report. It turned out that whatever was going on with Becca that caused her to make false accusations about Nate was the beginning of some kind of a psychotic break. After I blocked her she made a whole bunch of fake accounts and started sending me completely unhinged shit about how I ruined her life and threatening to get revenge on me and Nate. This went on for literally months with her sending me dozens of messages a day. I found out from other friends that she was making multiple posts on Facebook every day that were semi-coherent rants about how much she hated me and how I was evil and ruined her life intentionally. I tried to talk to the police 2 different times to get a restraining order because I was afraid that Becca was going to show up at our apartment and attack me or Nate. I literally even got a front door camera because I was so scared that she was going to hurt us. The police said that because Becca wasn't threatening actual violence she was just a nuisance and they couldn't do anything. They acted like I was an idiot because it isn't illegal to talk shit on Facebook and they basically told me to just keep blocking her whenever she made a new account and eventually she'd get bored and move on. Then finally there was an incident where someone broke the windshield of Nate's car while he was parked at his work. I guess it could have just been a random act of vandalism because his wasn't the only car that got windows broken, but at the time I was 100% sure it was Becca so I went to the police again. Eventually an officer went to talk to Becca, and she said she didn't touch Nate's car and again I have no proof that she did. But after the police talked to her, Becca got put into a psych ward for a week because apparently her apartment was filthy and she was drunk out of her mind 24/7 and a danger to herself. I have not heard anything from Becca after she left the psych ward. I don't know if she was diagnosed with something or if she's medicated now or what. I found out that she moved in with her dad who thank God lives in a different state. I look at her social media every so often to make sure she's not posting about me again and that she's nowhere around me. I haven't mentioned Nate much in this update because we're no longer together. He broke up with me after the windshield incident because he couldn't handle being constantly harassed by Becca and to be honest I don't think he ever forgave me for not taking his side immediately when everything started. It really hurt but I can't blame him. I tried to talk to him about fixing things between us after Becca was gone but he just wasn't interested.